Some days it feels like radio silence, placing my mind in spaces it shouldn't be. And then you break through the lies, keep turning my eyes to the face of all that I need. And you kill the static. Clear the noise, and I hear your voice again. Take my phone from my hands. I don't want it anymore, cause it's not giving my soul no advantage. I need you to make me whole, cause when I'm feeling this radio silence, attention undivided. Let me know there's more than what's been coming through my eyelids. Look at the reflection, don't forget your own likeness. Push it to the side, need a quiet on the side. Radio static, breaking bad habits. Living in your love don't mean I fake a bad average, but I know it's better to surrender my status, cause fair weather tends to get me so distracted. Radio silence, placing my mind in spaces it shouldn't be. And then you break through the lies, keep turning my eyes to the face of all that I need. And you kill the static. Clear the noise, and I hear your voice again. Switch plans up, new stanza. You already knew what the plan was. Break through my coverage canceled. Hanging by a thread, I'ma lift my hands up. I don't wanna give you part of life and keep the rest for me. Hearing what you tell me, can't get lost inside the messaging. Radio static, trying to block me out, but when you speak it's too emphatic. Think I've been around and you reveal another facet. Life without the fastness, sticking with the tactics, yeah, yeah, yeah. Radio silence, placing my mind in spaces it shouldn't be. And then you break through the lies, keep turning my eyes to the face of all that I need. And you kill the static. Static in my brain, I know that I'm okay. I know that the road's been for you. Don't think I know that I've been changed too. It's the same, I know that you're still missing you.
All you have to do is listen.
such a drag. What's it feel like never having no real life? I don't know how you deal. I can't imagine your pain. I'm just minding my business, but you're so in your feels. There's something wrong with your brain. 'Cause every time you talk it sound like blah 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound like blah 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound like who hurt you? I wonder who made you so mad. Tell me where did you learn to be so negative? You're such a drag. What's it feel like never having no real life? I don't know how you deal. I can't imagine your pain. I'm just minding my business, but you're so in your feels. There's something wrong with your brain. 'Cause every time you talk it sound like blah 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound like blah 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound like blah. Your life must be so boring, boring out of your mind. Am I your entertainment? I promise I'm not even trying. Green really isn't your color. Please just give it a rest. If last time made you unhappy, wait till you see what happens next. Blah 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound like blah 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 blah. I'm just hearing blah 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 blah. Every time you talk it sound like blah 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 blah. We've been paying rent here in my head. Tried to fight it off, tried to hold my breath. I keep holding back, trying not to crash right into you. But you look at me like you know something I don't. It's almost like you see where this thing's gonna go. And wow, I think you might be right. I'm thinking maybe I'm way past the point of no return. I'm running traffic lights to spend a little time looking into your eyes. Swear I've been aching, I've been waiting for you all my life. This must be what love feels like. You got me high as a satellite. All that I know is I think I like life a little better with you on my mind. Am I in too deep, being naive? Will you lift me up or send me to my knees? Start off with silence, you wreck my life and leave me high and dry. But you look at me like you know something I don't. It's almost like you